Hey everyone, it's Lee Tessier, eXp Realty, and we are talking about just free ways to generate additional business. And then one of the best ones is open houses. So, not sure how many you're doing, but have you created your business plan? How many you want to do on an annual basis? Is it one? Is it three a month? Is it 30 a year? What's your number? So that's first of all, what are you picking? How often are you doing it? And where are you taking things business wise? So, open houses, once you pick the property that you're going to do, make sure you're doing this well ahead of time. Make sure it's advertised. Make sure you put it on social media. Make sure you put it in the MLS, any other places you're going to market to. Then are you circle prospecting, meaning like Red X or several other programs where you can buy data? Some of it you can get through HomeSnap and so forth, but usually Red X, you can use a dialer out of that as well. And you can call through. So say you picked 100 properties around it, make sure that they know you're doing an open house that weekend. If it's Saturday, 1 to 3. Then time frame just depends on what you want to do. We're out of football season now, so is it a 12 to 2? Is it 1 to 3? Sometime after church, if it's on Sundays, you get better traffic. But what are you doing to get additional people there, which would be circle prospecting? Make sure part of the conversation so they don't feel it's a solicitation. It is that you are calling just to let them know that there's going to be increased traffic. Hey, do you have kids or dogs? I just want to let you know there's going to be increased traffic this day because we're having an open house from 12 to 2. If you'd like to come by and see it, let me know. I'm actually going to be here a half hour early for any neighbors that would come and like to see a personal showing of the property. I'll be here for that time. So just schedule that. Get there a half hour early. Be early to this. If you're doing a 2-hour open house, make sure you allow 3 to 4 hours. I'd say 3.5 at least, because you're getting there a half hour early. And then you're staying about 45 minutes or so later to finish your follow-up. Because so many times during an open house, there's going to be, say you had 6 sets of people or 10 sets of people, or sometimes now we're seeing 30 to 50. You're getting people to sign in. Make sure you have a sign-in sheet. You can do it electronically through a QR code. You can have old school paper. It's got to be what works for you, but also making sure you're taking those people that are not working with agents, add them to your database so you continue to follow up with them. Remember, fortune is in the follow-up. A lot of people forget that. Fortune's in the follow-up. That's where you're going to make your money, not the one and done. You meet at one time, they're buying a house from you. Majority of the time, you're not selling that particular house that day. Sometimes it works out, but majority of the time, that's not going to be the case. So it's going to be scheduling time after the open house. After the open house, are you scheduling, 45 minutes that you're doing all of your follow-ups? And the follow-ups could be sending a video. Video works. Send a quick video. It's a pleasure meeting you today, Susan, at this open house at 123 Main Street. I just wanted you to have my information. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a call. Or if they say they have an agent. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. They're using that as a cop-out. Hey, Susan, it was a pleasure meeting you at the open house today at 123 Main Street. I wanted to send you a personal video. This is my cell number that I'm calling from, 410-365-2210. Blah, blah, blah. If you'd like to have your agent reach out to me directly too with any questions that you have, feel free. Have a great day. So you're just making an impact. If they have an agent, now you've done the right thing. You pass all your information that agent can reach out to you with questions from it. If not, and they don't have an agent, now you've differentiated yourself on how are they going to reach out to you. Hey, I went to 10 open houses today or 2 open houses because they're sparse these days. What differentiated you for them to remember you? You have to be the one. Make sure you're likable. Make sure, when people are coming in the door. So when you're at the open house, how do you treat people? When somebody comes to your house, are you nice? Do you let them in when they're coming to see you? I would hope so. And you shake their hand and say, give them a hug, whatever it is. I would say, don't hug them, but I would say at least shake their hand, and, eye to eye contact is huge. So make sure that you're welcoming to them. Don't be on your phone. You're like, hey, nonstop, you're on the phone, because sometimes we see that. If you could take a speaker and have like music playing, not loud, just something for background noise that's nice, that's again more comforting and more homey. Make sure you get there a little bit early. Make sure the house is cleaned up. Make sure there's not dishes everywhere and stuff of that sort. Make sure that the place is a nice representation. Otherwise, you're there making excuses and you're in a pig pen. So hopefully that's not the case. So be prepared. Get there early. Then also, if you're, say that you're getting there 30 minutes ahead of time for those neighbors to come through, and you get 3 to 5 sets of neighbors, amazing about who they know. They may have a family member, they may have friends, they may have kids that want to buy in the neighborhood. Now you've done that introduction of being different, getting them into the community, welcoming them into the home. So again, and we've sold so many houses like that the neighbor helps pick the family member that's coming, or a friend. So make sure you're doing these small steps, which makes a great outcome for you. Make sure you have stats on what's going on in the market. Make sure you know what homes have sold. Make sure that you're familiar with, hey, the house that sold 4 doors down, this one's much more updated. This has a new kitchen. The other one didn't. This is what that one closed at. It sold in 4 days. The more information you can have on that to show that you're the market expert, the more likely they are to deal with you. Biggest thing is being prepared. Set up those extra times. A lot of people think, oh, I got a 2-hour open house. I'm going to schedule like 2 hours and 15 minutes. You got to get there early. You got to set up the signs. You got to have 30 minutes for any of the neighbors to come. You're staying after 30 to 45 minutes, maybe an hour for all those follow-ups. And a lot of times it doesn't end right on time. So you have extra consumers that are coming through that want to see the house. And sometimes they're the ones that are the most interested. But also make sure you're asking the questions that they have an agent and so forth. Because if not, make sure you follow up with them. Put them in your database. Fortune is in the follow-up. I hope this is helpful. Have an awesome day. Take care.